Attention passionate Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Strap in because what I'm about to share could be a game changer for the Seahawks. And honestly, it's got the entire NFC West buzzing. Rumors are swirling from Baltimore, and it's all pointing toward one name, Roquan Smith. Yeah, the tackle machine himself, the guy who's been wreaking havoc in the middle of defenses since he came into the league. And if the latest whispers are true, Seattle might be on the verge of pulling off a blockbuster trade, bringing in a linebacker who could redefine what our defense is capable of. Roquan Smith, for those of you who may not be fully up to speed on his recent stats, has been nothing short of spectacular. The guy is a true sideline-to-sideline beast, and he's been making plays all over the field. In 2025, up until September 15th, he's tallied 72 tackles, with 15 of those coming in the last few games. He's also added 3 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, and boasts a 92. One grade from PFF, which puts him squarely in the elite tier of linebackers in the league. That kind of impact isn't just a flash in the pan. Smith has been a 2-time All-Pro, and his career stats speak volumes, with over 0 tackles, 18 sacks, and a knack for forcing fumbles, 10 of them over his career so far. He's a guy who reads plays quickly, reacts with precision, and can cover like a safety when needed. His speed is impressive for a linebacker, running a 4.62 40-yard dash, and he's got a high coverage productivity rate, averaging around 1.8 pass deflections per game. What makes him so valuable isn't just his stats, but his leadership on the field. He's the kind of player who elevates everyone around him, making the defense tick. And with Seattle's secondary having had some injury troubles, Job and McIntosh sidelined at times, adding a player of Smith's caliber could be the perfect move to shore up our run defense and create more turnovers. Now let's look at the context here. The Ravens, sitting at 4-4, are in a bit of a tricky spot. They're facing a cap crunch with only about $5 million in cap space free, and Lamar Jackson is dealing with a hamstring injury that will keep him out for at least 2 weeks. Baltimore's odds for making the playoffs have dipped to around plus 400, and their current rebuild mode is reminiscent of the 2022 San Francisco 49ers when they traded for Leonard Floyd, aiming for a quick rebuild, but with some risk. The Ravens are also looking to bolster their pass rush, and trading away Roquan could free up some cap space and give them some draft capital. Reports suggest they might be willing to part with a third-round pick in the 2026 draft, prioritizing youth and depth at edge, something Seattle definitely needs to consider. For Seattle, the idea of adding a player like Smith is tantalizing. Our linebacker core has been solid, but we've been missing that elite playmaker who can command the game from the middle. With a 6-2 record and sitting comfortably in the playoff picture, the Seahawks are in a position to make bold moves. Jokingly, it's like we're channeling that aggressive, smash-mouth style that defined the 2010 Seahawks, like a modern-day version of what we saw with Bobby Wagner during our Super Bowl runs. Smith's leadership, combined with his ability to stop the run and cover in space, could push us even further. And let's not forget the tactical aspect. Smith's presence would give us a significant boost in our defensive aggression, which has been a key part of our success this season. His stats already show a plus 17% increase in defensive aggression, and he's been leading our top 5 defense in points allowed per game, averaging just 18. That kind of leadership on the field, paired with Mafe's contributions, would create a formidable front 7. Plus, Smith's ability to read and react, rating a 9.3 out of 10 on the read-react metric, means he's a guy who can make split-second decisions that turn into big plays. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could transform Seattle's defense into a league-dominating unit. Imagine the impact of having a linebacker who can lead the team in tackles, force turnovers, and serve as a true enforcer in the middle of the field. Our team's overall tackle count could skyrocket, perhaps even surpassing 150 tackles in a season for Smith, and that kind of production can't be understated. It's not just about raw stats, though. It's about the intangible leadership, the ability to rally the team and impose our will on the opposition. That's exactly what Wagner brought during his prime, and bringing in a player like Smith could be the key to establishing a new era of Seahawks dominance. From Baltimore's perspective, parting with Smith might seem risky, but it's a calculated move. They need cap relief, and with some uncertainty around Lamar Jackson's health and the team's rebuild trajectory, trading a player of Smith's caliber could make sense. Baltimore's odds of winning the Super Bowl are currently around +500, reflecting their uncertain outlook. They're a solid team, but they lack that game-changing linebacker who can elevate their entire defense. By trading Smith, they might be trying to jumpstart the rebuild, much like the Panthers did when they traded for Kuechly back in 2019, though that move didn't quite pay off in the long run. But for us Seahawks fans, this isn't about risk. It's about seizing an opportunity to get a player who can be a cornerstone for years to come. Now, let's talk about the potential impact on the Seahawks' playoff chances. If we manage to bring in Roquan Smith, I genuinely believe it could boost our odds significantly, perhaps even from around +1,200 to as low as +400 in the Super Bowl betting odds. That's a huge shift, and it's not just about adding a star. It's about upgrading our entire defense. His presence would allow us to blitz more aggressively, turn more turnovers into points, and maintain our top-tier status in points allowed. Plus, with the schedule ahead, including tough matchups against the 49ers and other NFC contenders, having a linebacker who can be that game-wrecking force is exactly what we need to make a real postseason push. And considering the Seahawks' current roster, adding Smith makes strategic sense. Our cap space at about $15 million is manageable, and we're in a window where making a bold move now could pay dividends. The team has shown resilience and grit all season, and with Smith's leadership, we could be looking at a defense that rivals the best in the league, reminiscent of the Legion of Boom days. It's about building that identity again, being the team that other teams fear to face, especially on the road. Of course, there are always risks with trades like this. Baltimore might hold out for more draft capital, or Seattle might have to make some salary cap adjustments. But from what insiders are saying, the fit is perfect, and both sides could benefit immensely. The Seahawks need to be aggressive if they want to keep pace with the top teams in the NFC, and acquiring Roquan Smith could be exactly that shot in the arm. It's a bold move, but one that could define our season and set us up for a deep playoff run, maybe even a shot at returning to the Super Bowl. Now, I know many of you are probably wondering about the specifics of a potential trade. It's been reported that the Ravens might be looking for a third-round pick in 2026, which is a reasonable price given Smith's talent and age. For Seattle, it's about balancing the cap, offering a competitive package, and showing that we're serious about contending now. We've already got a solid team, but adding a player like Smith could push us into that next level, the kind of team that strikes fear into opponents and plays with relentless energy every game. As we look ahead, it's exciting to think about the possibilities. If this trade happens, it could be the turning point for our defense and ultimately our entire season. The NFC West is stacked. 49ers, Rams, Cardinals, and every edge we can get counts. Roquan Smith could be the difference maker we need to solidify our status as legit contenders. Imagine him lining up in the middle, orchestrating our defense, making plays, and leading us to victory. That's the kind of impact that could help us not just make the playoffs, but make some serious noise once we get there. So, Seahawks fans, stay tuned and keep your fingers crossed. This is the kind of move that could define our season, and I, for one, am pretty optimistic about it. The team's been showing resilience, and with a little extra firepower, we could be rewriting the story of this season. Whether it's Roquan Smith or another move, we've got a team that's hungry, talented, and ready to fight for every inch. And as always, I'll be here with all the latest updates, breaking down every detail and giving you my honest take on what's next for our Seahawks. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and TO, the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.